Alright, let's talk about something that should be making your palms sweat. A transfer. Not just any transfer, mind you. We are talking about a colossal, earth-shaking 500 million PI coin transfer. This isn't just a transaction, it's a seismic event in the quiet and, let's be honest, somewhat mysterious world of Pi network. It's the kind of move that makes even the most seasoned crypto bros sit up and spill their kombucha. Because if you've been tapping that little lightning bolt on your phone every day, dreaming of a future where your digital pocket change turns into a down payment on a house, this news is your wake-up call. To put it in perspective, 500 million PI represents a significant chunk of the tokens that were meant to be gradually released into the ecosystem. Seeing them all move at once is like watching a bank's entire vault get emptied out in a single afternoon. Who moved it? Why now? Where is it going? Is it heading to an exchange to be dumped on the market, potentially cratering the price to zero? Or is this some kind of strategic, five-dimensional chess move by the core team? The lack of clear communication is, frankly, astounding. This event is a perfect storm of crypto's greatest fears: centralization, lack of transparency, and the potential for a massive price crash. Before we dive deeper into the abyss of this 500 million PI fiasco, let's take a step back. What in God's name is Pi network? Imagine if someone told you that you could mine cryptocurrency on your phone, for free, just by tapping a button once a day. It sounds too good to be true, right? It was launched in 2019 by some Stanford grads who promised a cryptocurrency for everyday people. All you need is a smartphone and the willingness to join what is essentially a global digital clicking club. The project has existed for years in an enclosed mainnet phase. Coins are real but stuck in a digital terrarium. You can transfer them to other Pi users but not cash out on major exchanges yet. Pioneers have done KYC, waited for open mainnet, and built hopeful communities. This long limbo created both dedication and anxiety, a fragile balance now threatened by that massive transfer. For years, PI's market value has been theoretical, essentially zero until tradable. The system runs on trust. Trust in the core team, the roadmap, and a future open mainnet. This opaque transaction just drop-kicked trust into a volcano, a direct hit at the project's foundation. Now let's talk about whales. No, not the majestic ocean-dwelling mammals. I mean crypto whales. Individuals or entities holding massive amounts of a token. When a behemoth moves, it's not a quiet swim, it's a tsunami. A transfer to an exchange is often interpreted as preparation to sell, triggering large sell orders and panic. Automated bots detect this and start selling. Humans panic and sell. A cascade begins. We've seen this horror movie play out before. Massive crashes, wipeouts in minutes. Trust vaporizes in an instant. Large transfers expose centralization. If a few control supply, decentralization is a myth. In Pi's case, the core team itself can move amounts big enough to dictate the market. Since Pi is pre-launch with no real market price, the impact is magnified tenfold. Its value is currently 100% community belief. Remove that, and you have dust. It's like the architects of the Titanic boarding the first lifeboat, chilling and revealing where incentives lie. It's all about context and timing. The Pi core team assured the community that large portions would be vested and locked. That lockup was the safety rail meant to prevent a price-crushing dump. Then, out of the blue, this transfer happened. Unlocked and moved without announcement. No prior announcement, no explanation. The community was blindsided. Silence created a vacuum now filled by worst fears. Exit scam, rug pull. In mature markets, big blocks require public disclosure. Here, any move feels lawless. Silence in pre-launch crypto becomes a vacuum for conspiracy. Pioneers contributed years, KYC, and promoted Pi to friends, all based on trust in founders. This opaque transaction put a massive crack in that foundation. If the team will move 500 million coins without a word, what other promises could they break? This is no longer just about price. It's about trustworthiness. Right now it looks like they might be steering the ship straight toward an iceberg. When it comes to predicting PI's price after this, there are two camps. First, the eternal optimists, hodlers who call this a misunderstood strategic maneuver. Maybe the core team moved funds to secure wallets or to provide liquidity to exchanges for open mainnet. In this scenario, after dust settles and an official explanation, price could soar. On the other side are cautious realists, the so-called FUD spreaders, fear, uncertainty, doubt. They see the transfer as a red flag. Prep for a dump that floods exchanges and crushes price. Their forecast, a short-lived pump on launch day followed by catastrophic dump. Optimists counter, Tens of millions of KYC-verified users could absorb shock and create real value. Both sides have valid points. Outcome depends entirely on execution, communication, and liquidity management. If supply floods exchanges and insiders sell, price could crash to fractions of a cent. If liquidity and utility are handled, it could rally. Bottom line, extreme volatility ahead. Prepare for both quick spikes and deep troughs. Spoiler, it's complicated. Experts disagree. Some researchers argue Pi operates in a gray area, using decentralization language while retaining central control. Critics see the transfer as founders preparing to cash in on years of user acquisition. Their advice: expect the worst. Others, VCs and network effect believers, argue you can't dismiss a network with tens of millions of verified users. They suggest the transfer could be a clumsy but necessary step to deliver exchange liquidity. These voices urge patience. Watch for transparency and execution. Will the team communicate, provide audit evidence, restore trust? The answers matter more than opinions. The ball is in the core team's court. Their next moves determine whether recovery is possible. For now, watch closely for verified announcements, audit evidence, or a clear liquidity plan. If you've been tapping PI daily, you're probably feeling like a lost puppy in a thunderstorm. First, do not invest money you cannot afford to lose. Right now, the money you have in Pi is zero. It's theoretical. Don't take out a second mortgage. Don't sell your car. Never give private keys or passphrases. Pi core team will never ask. Beware of fake sites, impersonators, and phishing promises to double your PI. Rely on facts. Cross-reference official app announcements and the Pi website. Don't rely on a single YouTuber or random Twitter accounts. Have a parachute ready. Ask hard questions. Be skeptical. Don't let emotion drive you. Pause, verify, and protect your info. Read both bulls and bears. Understanding both gives balance. Protect yourself, stay informed, and remember, you invested time, not life savings. Pi Network stands at a crossroads. The next days and weeks are critical. First, communicate. A clear, detailed, honest statement explaining the transfer is non-negotiable. Prove the why. Where did coins go, why moved, and what about the lockup schedule? Use a detailed blog post, live AMA with founders, or both. Address pioneers directly. Provide verifiable evidence. Even anonymized proof of liquidity flows if necessary. Publish a concrete, updated roadmap for open mainnet with milestones and supply management plans. Explain how token supply will be managed to prevent price-crushing releases. Consider on-chain governance. Give verified pioneers a real voice on major decisions. Transparency, proof, and community governance can rebuild the bridge they just blew up. They're holding a lit match in a gasoline-filled room. Immediate honest action is the only way to avoid disaster. Here we are, at the end of this roller coaster of fear and speculation. Is Pi Network in trouble? Short answer, yes. You cannot have a 500 million transfer in the shadows without a 5-alarm fire of panic. Silence from the core team is deafening. In crypto, silence rarely means good news. Not dead yet. Pi still has a powerful asset, its community of tens of millions. If the team communicates with radical transparency and provides a trustworthy path forward, recovery is possible. For everyday pioneers, stay cautious, stay informed, watch official announcements and treat everything else with suspicion. Protect your personal information like it's the last roll of toilet paper in a pandemic. Don't be a cheerleader or a doomsayer. Be a vigilant observer. The ambiguity is terrifying, but stay calm, stay alert. The fate of Pi hinges on the next moves. Subscribe for updates. We'll monitor official announcements and bring you analysis as this story develops.